Hey guys, Sarah here from Work Life Glue. Today I'm going to be doing another video on protecting your peace. Basically, this is the second video in this series, and I already did a video kind of explaining what I think of when I think of protecting your peace, why it's important, what kind of things that entails, and I will link that video below. But basically, protecting your peace is all about helping you overcome and prevent yourself from experiencing strong bouts of anxiety and depression. And as someone who has experienced depression in the past, I have found a lot of useful things to prevent it from happening to me in the future. And a lot of that is just trying to keep away negativity and keep my mind strong. Now, I was thinking a lot about what video I wanted to shoot next because I have a lot of ideas for this series. And one of the most important things I could think of that really helped me overcome my postpartum depression that I experienced were certain books. And these books gave me information as well as motivation and just some tools that I needed to see that I can change the course of my life. I can get myself into a good mental place and I can experience growth and success. Because a lot of what kept me grounded in my depression was just thoughts of like, things are never gonna get better. You'll never achieve the dreams you want. How are you ever going to get to those things that you want to get to? And I just felt really stuck. And these books really helped me realize that that is all in my head, and that if I can get through it, I can achieve my dreams. There's no reason why I can't. And I feel like through our YouTube channel, we've had a lot of people reach out and say how motivational, inspirational we are. And truly, I believe that came from a lot of these books that I've read. And there are three main books in particular that really helped me in this area. So those are the three I want to talk about today. But these three also just encourage me to read more, and I'll explain why later in this video. But just the more you open yourself up to positivity and information that can lead to growth and success, the more it will help your mindset to be positive and to, if you've seen the movie The Secret or read the book or heard about it all, it's all about the law of attraction. I don't know how much I totally buy into that, but I do believe it is really important to fill yourself up with positivity because it will encourage you to go after those things. I don't think you just sit around waiting for the things you want to happen, and I don't think that's really what it's talking about anyway. But if you fill yourself up with stories about success and happiness and things like that, and you fill yourself up with books that kind of teach you different ways to achieve those things, and you start to put them into action, it can really help you achieve those. And it's just filling up your mind with what's possible instead of just feeling stuck and worthless and like nothing's ever going to change. You give yourself permission to believe otherwise because you're reading it in all these books around you, so it can't be lies. And it's just, for me, it was really a positive way to start to overcome my depression and to stay away from it in the future. So the very first book I have talked about so many times, and if you haven't read it yet and you've heard me talk about it, you guys need to go out and read it. It's so good. It's called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Now, I told you guys I experienced postpartum depression, and this book, I remember reading it 4th of July 2015. That was when I was just starting to kind of come out of my depression. And this book, I truly feel, was instrumental in really giving me a boost and just setting me on a path of restoring my mental health. It's really hard to explain, but this book is basically all about how you can use the compound effect of, you know, if you put your money in mutual funds or whatever, and they have interest, and it builds and it compounds over time, and it just skyrockets after time because it's compounding. It's basically that principle but put toward little habits in your life. So things like reading 10 minutes or 10 pages of a really good book, like a book like these self-help books, or you know, motivational books, spiritual books, things like that, not just fiction books but non-fiction books. That practice every day over time will make you feel better. That's kind of what this video is actually talking about. Things like praying every day, or telling your family you love them, or complimenting somebody every day. That doesn't seem like a big deal if you just do it one day, but if you do it every single day over time, it'll make a big impact on your life. Just take exercise, for example. If you work out half an hour one day, nothing's gonna change. But if you work out every single day for a year, your body will look different, you will feel different. And that's what this book is talking about. And it seems so self-explanatory, but when you're really stuck mentally, you feel like nothing's gonna change. And this book really helped me see that I can change, and it's not this huge like thing I have to do. It's just a little bit every single day. And that truly helped me. And just reading it, first of all, made me see that, okay, I can do this on my own, and I can get through this, and I can not only feel back to my old self, but better. And it gave me the tools to do that. So I would highly recommend this book. Life-changing for me. I want to read it every year. I have read it twice since then. So I highly recommend this book, The Slight Edge. The second book, after I read that, I got turned on to the whole Miracle Morning thing before I feel like it got really huge. I don't even remember where I heard about it. I can't remember if it was mentioned in here. I was just doing more research on The Slight Edge, but then I heard about the Miracle Morning and I read it, and these two go so well together, because the Miracle Morning is basically giving you a time and a place and a structure for putting these principles into practice. It's basically you set up your morning to do the things that will change your life: reading books, journaling, meditation or prayer, exercise, all that good stuff. It's teaching you why it's important, how to do it, the structure, and all that kind of stuff. So I've been doing the Miracle Morning pretty consistently since I read this book. I have had a baby since then, so it's been a little harder, but I've read so many good books because of this that have also helped improve my life. And I think this is just another book that really helps you realize you are in control of your life. There are little things you can do every day, and they will make a difference. And he has some really powerful stories of how it changed his life and other people's lives. And I would highly recommend it. If you haven't read this, it's been pretty popular, at least online. I've seen it a lot of places. So if you haven't read it yet, you better, because it's worth all the hype. And then the third book is one I read more recently. It's called Essentialism by Greg McGowan, I think is how you say his name. So in Essentialism, it's basically about choosing the things that are most essential in your life and doing those things and saying no to the rest. So I've known this for a long time. A lot of people say that, like, in life you can't do everything, so you need to learn to say no. But this book really gives step-by-step instructions and stories and things like that of helping you identify what those things are that are not important, why it's important to say no, why it's okay, and why you shouldn't feel bad, and what it can lead to. So once I kind of started to get out of my depression, I started to sometimes feel overwhelmed because I have so many goals and I'm working on so many different things all the time. We have a lot of projects going on that we don't even talk about on YouTube. So full-time job, 2 kids, YouTube, and these other projects, and being a wife, and all that kind of stuff can get really busy, as most, you know, anybody in today's age is usually busy. But being a mom and working and all that on top of everything, or even stay-at-home moms, I'm on my maternity leave right now and it's crazy, and I don't know, it's just, being a mom is a lot of work. But this really helped me in those times when I would feel overwhelmed with everything, to stop and think, okay, what's actually important? Because I'm one who will try to do everything regardless of if it's even plausible to do everything or even possible. So this book really helps me to like stop, analyze, okay, I can't do 50 things in a day with 2 little kids and be a good wife and be a good mom, and stay alive and like eat and rest and all that kind of stuff. So this really helped me just decide what's the most important, because part of, at least for me, of my mental health is adding in some rest, which is really hard for me. And I let myself sometimes get really overwhelmed, which is not good for your mental health. And then I kind of get to a breaking point, and then I'm crying. I'm hiding in the house crying because I'm just like, I don't even know where to begin. And it's like comical, but in the moment it feels really real. And once I let it out, I feel better. But if I put these principles into practice, that doesn't happen very often. So I'd highly recommend that. Even if you don't have, any of these books are great, even if you don't have any mental health issues or feelings of being stuck or hitting rock bottom or anything like that. But they're just great books to help you improve yourself anyway, which is really what this series is a lot about, is just helping you realize your worth and trying to become more, because it's totally the opposite of being depressed and being stuck, is that you're trying to improve. So that's a lot of what I want to talk about in this series. So enough rambling. These are the 3 books I would highly recommend you read. Let me know if you guys have had a history of depression or anxiety, if there's any good books that you would recommend. I'm always looking for more to better myself, and I would love for anybody watching this to have more resources to turn to, because what worked for me might not work for you. But these books I think are very, they're great across the board, and could really help a lot of people. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time, and I just really hope if you are suffering that you ask for help and that you start just trying to find ways to make your day a little bit better every day with just little practices that you can do, and they will really change your life. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye guys.